Hello everyone, hope all of you are doing great, and in today's video we are going to discuss Progression Test 2023 Paper 2. The first question here says to you that it takes three people 10 days to build a wall. Find how many days it would take six people to build the same wall working at the same rate. So you need to write the ratio this way. Number of people, number of days, three people take 10 days. They want six people. So you should actually notice one thing, that here, if the number of people increases, then definitely the number of days they're going to spend building that wall is going to decrease. This is just common sense. So this is inverse proportion. You should notice this. It is inverse proportion. So if you multiply this by 2, then definitely you're going to divide this by 2. All right, which is going to give you 5. Another way that always works, you're going to find out that you multiply 3 by 10. So I'm going to erase the numbers that I've just written. You're going to find out that you multiply the first two numbers. The 3 times 10 is what? 30. 30 divided by 6 is going to give you 5. This works only with the inverse proportion. So if you multiply 3 by 10, it's going to give you 30. 30 divided by 6 is going to give you 5. So it's 5 days. Even if you had over here 5 and they were requesting from you this number, it's also going to work to say 3 times 10 is 30. 30 divided by 5 is going to give you a 6. So this works only with inverse proportion. Only inverse proportion. The term-to-term rule for a sequence is subtract k. The first term of the sequence is 40. The fourth term of the sequence is 35.5. Find the second and the third terms of the sequence. So you're going to find over here that you're subtracting something, then you're subtracting another thing, then you're subtracting this until you reach 35.5. Then you should notice using your calculator that you went over here from 40 until 35.5, that you minus the 4.5. But dividing this into three parts only, so it's minus negative 1.5, minus negative 1.5, minus negative 1.5. So you're going to find over here 40 minus 1.5 is going to give you exactly 38.5. Minusing another 1.5 is going to give you 37. Minusing 1.5 is going to give you 35.5. All right. Find the first negative term in the sequence. Well, there is actually more than one way to do that. If you got a small number, like the number that you have over here, it is actually, we've reached 35.5. And you would like to go down by subtracting 1.5 every time in this paper too, you can just record this on your calculator by pressing equal. Then after that, what are you going to do? You say minus 1.5 equals, only once is enough. What is after that? Press equals again, equals again, equals again, equals again. You find that it is subtracting in what? Subtracting in exactly 1.5 until you reach the negative half. So negative half is the first negative number that you reach. A prism has a cross section that is a regular hexagon. So the regular hexagon over here is the cross section over here. As you see, it is a hexagon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. But write down the number of planes of symmetry. So you should know that if you wanted the number of planes of symmetry of a prism that has a regular hexagon or a regular polygon, you just see the number of sides of the cross section. 6 sides, Mr. of the cross section. Then you add to it 1. It gives you 7. So it has 7 planes of symmetry. The area of the cross section of the prism is 10.4 meters squared. The volume of the prism is 8.84 meters cubed. Calculate the height. We know that volume equals area of cross section times height. So if you want to find the height, it is just volume over area. This is going to give you the height. So let's do this on the calculator. I've got over here the volume. It is 8.84. 8.84 divided by the area, which is 10.4, is going to give you 0.85. This is the height, 0.85 meters. Natural numbers are only positive whole numbers. So this is only positive numbers, only. While the integers, any whole number, positive, negative, or zero. Rational numbers, any number that can be written as a fraction. Any number that can be written as a fraction, including the recurring decimals. So let's see about the list over here. You've got -7. Let's start first with the natural numbers. So start with the smallest circle you have in your Venn diagram. So here, the small circle of the natural numbers, you're going to find that 12 is a natural number. And you've got also, that's it. Oh, square root of 36 is also a natural number. So these two are positive whole numbers. So they are natural numbers, which also happens to be where they happen to be also integers and rational numbers. That's why I told you to start with the smallest circle. All right, next you got integers. So I got the -7. It is done. And I've got over here also integers, -55 over 11, which is equal to -5. That's it. And now we've got the numbers that can be written as fractions also, but they're not natural. They're not integers, 4.7 and -2 over 3. Here's a list of words. Square root of 3 and square root of 5 are examples of irrational numbers. They are surds. They are surds. Expand. So first by first is going to give you x squared. Then first by second is going to give you here 2x. So then second by first, second by second, plus 14. So collecting the like terms, you're going to find x squared plus 9x plus 14. To solve the inequality, you send this number to both sides with the opposite sign or the opposite operation. It's -3, you send it over there, +3, +3. So x alone is greater than or equal to 1 and is less than 8. They want you to plot this. So the inequality here, x is greater than or equal 1 to 1. Here you go. And it is less than 8. It's an open circle because here I have an equal sign. I had to shade the 1, the circle on top of the 1, but I left the circle on top of the 8 open. Question 7. Let's go to the application over here. It says to you here that 3C is on a bearing of 110 degrees from 3A. So I'm going to get my protractor and I'm going to measure the bearing clockwise as always. Starting with the 0, which is the number that is outside over here on my protractor, and going up and going all the way until 110 degrees, which is this one. Not really accurate. I just cannot put a point. All what you need to do is just putting a point next to the 110. I cannot do that for technical reasons. So I have to put the protractor away and then I plot. All right. Then what I'm supposed to do is that with my ruler, I connect A going in this direction. Now I know that C is somewhere here. The point over here determines the direction, determines the bearing, it determines the angle. But where is C exactly? We have no idea, not yet. All right, and the 3C is on a bearing of 205 degrees. Mister, I cannot use my protractor for more than 180 degrees. So all what you need to do is to do 360 minus 205 degrees is going to give you 155 degrees. And instead of measuring 155 clockwise, no, I'm going to measure 155 anti-clockwise. Because what I want is that 205 degrees clockwise, I minus it from 360, and then I will do 155 anti-clockwise. So 155 is going to be here. Here you go. Put this away. Now erase my arrow. Connect. So now, where is the point that is on a bearing 110 degrees from A and on a bearing of 205 degrees from B? It's this point of intersection. This is town C. Tree C, sorry. Tree C. All right. Now, is this the question? No, but you're going to take at least, I guess, around the 2 marks only for this drawing. But what they want from you, find the actual distance in meters between tree B and the tree C. The dimensions of the drawing might be a little bit different due to the fact that I took a screenshot of the question and I changed the dimensions a little bit. I adjusted the size of the image a little bit. But you're going to find that measuring it is going to give you, let me measure this. From B, they want from B until C. I found that it is 5 centimeters. This is what I've done. It is 5 centimeters. So just a second. Again. Here you go. From point B until point C, as you see over here, it is 5 centimeters. It might be a little bit different on your paper. So this is 5 centimeters. Okay, mister, but they want it in meters, and actually, how many meters is 1 centimeter on my drawing? They told you the scale over here. 1 centimeter is actually 250 centimeters. So 1 centimeter is actually, divide this by 100 to make it into meters, is actually 2.5 meters. Good. I got 5 centimeters. Multiply this by what? You need to multiply it by 2.5. It is going to give you exactly 12.5. Your answer actually is supposed to be more accurate because, as I told you, I changed the dimensions of the image. I guess I made it a little bit bigger so that you see it clearly. But you're gonna find in the mark scheme your answer should be within the range 10.25 to 12.5 meters. Okay, so you find the measurement from B until C. It's supposed to be 4 point something, I guess. It's supposed to be on your paper 4.5 or 4.6. And then when you multiply by 2.5, you're going to find that it is within this range that is written in the mark scheme. Next question. The graph of x plus y equals 4 is drawn on the grid. So this is x plus y equals 4. Draw the graph y minus x equals y. First, you need to make sure that y is the subject, so y equals 1 plus x. Now substitute x with 0. When x is 0, y is going to be 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. So when x is 0, y is 1. When x is 1, then y is going to be 2. When x is 2, y is going to be 3. When x is 3, y is going to be 4. This is enough. Now I graphed the equation. Look at that. And I'm going to write over here. I'm going to label it y equals y minus x equals 1, which is the same as y equals 1 plus x. Good. Now I graphed it, 2 marks. Question B, use the graph to write down the solution to the pair of simultaneous equations, x plus y equals 4, y minus x equals 1. Well, to solve the simultaneous equations using the graphing method, you need to find the point of intersection. What is x then? X is 1.5. What is y? 2.5. So 1.5, 2.5. 1.5, 2.5. A teaspoon of sugar has a mass of 4.2 grams. Write down the mass of this sugar in milligrams. So, Mr. Grams to milligrams, you should know that it's multiplied by 1,000. Just like liter into milliliter, you multiply by 1,000. So it is going to be 4,200 milligrams. Mike says that there are 12,000 grains of sugar in 1 teaspoon. So 1 teaspoon, which is actually 4.2 grams. So they're telling you that 12,000 grains of sugar, in 1 teaspoon, which is, let's say teaspoon, which is 4.2 grams, right? So 12,000 grains of sugar are equal actually or have a mass of 4.2 grams. But they wanted to use Mike's value to calculate the mass of 1 grain only, 1 grain of sugar. So what are you going to do? What happened to the 12,000 to become 1? You divide it by 12,000. So you divide 4.2 grams also by 12,000. So 4.2 divided by 12,000 equals, and then you find the answer. You should write this. For this only, you're going to take 1 mark. Look at the calculator over here. It's paper 2. So 4.2 divided by 12,000 equals. Then once you press SD, you find the answer written to you in the standard form. Look at that. 3.5 times 10 to the power of negative 4. If it is not written in the standard form, but here, for example, it is written in the standard form. If it is not written in the standard form, let's say, for example, if you find it in any of the calculators written this way, 0.00035, then you should turn this into the standard form. You're going to find that it's 3.5 multiplied by 10 to the power of negative 4. Two friends share some money in the ratio 3 to 5. One of them gets 1.50. Find the two possible amounts that the other friend gets. Well, look at that. They're telling you that one of them gets 1.5. Did they say which one? No, they didn't. So it could be 3 to 5, 3 to 5. It could be this one over here gets to the 1.5, $0. And now I need to find this. Or it could be that this one gets to the 1.5. And in this case, we need to find this. So now what are you supposed to do? You take this, divide it by 5, and then you multiply by 3. So 1.5 divided by 5, then multiply by 3 gives you 0.9. So this is the first amount. Or it could be the other one over here. You find that it is 1.5 divided by 3. Then you multiply by 5. Gives you 5 over 2, which is 2.5. All right, over here, they're telling you that rolling a 6 is 1 over 6. So does not roll a 6 is the rest. 5 over 6. Same over here. Same over here. But now we completed the tree diagram. Find the probability that she rolls exactly 1/6. Look at the tree diagram over here. Rolling a 6. Rolling a 6 is here only once. Look at that. It is this one and this one. This scenario. Rolling a 6 is 1 over 6. Not rolling a 6 is 5 over 6. So this is one of the scenarios, right? that she might roll a six, the first on the blue dice, and the green dice she doesn't. Now it happened that she rolled exactly one six only, exactly one six in this case. When the blue dice you roll a six, and the green dice you don't roll a six. And over there, down here, you find that there is another event when she doesn't roll a six on the blue dice and she rolls a six on the green dice. One of them will happen. So, how can I write this in math? Look at this. It is 1 over 6 and 5 over 6. 1 over 6 and we agreed in the probability is times 5 over 6. Or, and we agreed or is plus 5 over 6 and 1 over 6. This is how we find it. Now you can use your calculator, but first let's simplify this. It is 5 over 36 plus 5 over 36, which is actually 10 over 36. You can put this in the simplest form, which is going to give you 5 over 18. Complete the sentence using a word or words from the list. Safia rolls a 6 on the blue dice, and Safia does not roll a 6 on the green dice. Are what events? Mister, they are independent. Why? Because none of them actually affects the other. If you roll the blue dice, the probability of getting a 6, well, it is 1 over 6. The green dice, if you get here a 6 or you don't get a 6, will it be affected? Will the green dice be affected when you roll it the next time by the blue? No, mister, it doesn't get affected by the results I got from the blue. Good, then they are independent. Calculate the area of the semicircle. It's pi r squared over 2. So you need to do it on the calculator. Then you do what? Calculate the area of the semicircle. It is pi multiplied by r over here is what? You're gonna have to get half of this because the radius is half the diameter. So it is 7.33 squared. This is pi r squared over 2. This is gonna get you the area of the semicircle. But don't forget to round it into three significant figures. So start with the fraction first. You're right here, pi multiplied by 7.33 squared over 2 equals 84.4 because they want to round to three significant figures, so 84.4 centimeters squared. An elk has a top speed of 72.4 kilometers per hour. An ostrich, or whatever, however you pronounce it, has a top speed of 43.0 miles per hour. Tick to show which of these animals has the fastest top speed. To convert miles into kilometers, you should know that you multiply by 1.6. So 43 multiplied by 1.6 equals 68.8 kilometers. So which one has the fastest top speed? You're going to find that the one that has the fastest top speed is the elk, showing this here, 43 miles by 1.6 equals 68.8 kilometers. So definitely the elk has a top speed that is faster per hour. Samira wants to compare the heights of boys and girls when they are 14 years old. She takes a random sample of 5 boys from the local running club. So focus on this. 5, a sample of 5 boys from the local running club and 5 girls from her class at school. The children that she samples are all 14 years old. So I don't have a problem with the 14 years old. Why? Because actually, this is what she needs to investigate. But I have a problem with only 5 boys and 5 girls. Because actually, this is not, this is a few. So they're telling you over here, give 2 reasons why this may not be a good sample. First, 5 or 10 students, 5 from each gender is not enough. You can express this in many ways. You can say it's a small sample. That's good. So you can express this in any way that you would like that you would like to use. So you can say 5 only from each gender is not enough, or you can say she chose a very small sample. This is 1 mark. The other mark you can say that choosing only from the running club might be biased. You can say that, or might not be representative. So it might not be representative to the whole population. So choosing only from choosing boys only from the running club. Sorry for my terrible handwriting. May be biased or not representative to the whole population. Representative to the whole population. Samira measures the height, h centimeters, of each child. Samira wants to record the heights using these class intervals. Explain why she may not be able to record every child's height in these class intervals. Actually, because she will miss 150. Look at that. She got intervals for height less than 150, but 150 is not included. Height greater than 150, less than 160. Well, the 150 is still not included, and now we pass it, and the 160 is also not included. So 150 not included, 160 not included, neither here nor there, 170 not included, neither here nor there. So she will miss 150, 160, 170 centimeters. All right. So that's why this is your explanation of why she may not be able to record every child's height. Write down the correct class intervals. So h is less than 150, fine. Then here you say h is greater than or equal to 150, less than 160. Then here h is greater than or equal to 160, less than 170. And the last one over here is h is greater than or equal to 170. Now I got less than 150 and 150 is included, more than 150, 160 is included, 170 included. So now I included all of that. Shape A is shown on a grid, and they're telling you over here that shape A has got reflect shape A in the line x equals 3, and label the image B. This might be a little bit tricky to some of you guys, but look at this. The first thing that you must do is drawing x equals 3 middle line. You're going to find that it is this one. Here is x equals 3 middle line. Oh, mister, the middle line passed through the shape. Yes, this is fine. It is accepted. So what am I supposed to do, mister, now? You are supposed to, let me first do this here. Here you go. All right. This one over here, you see this point? I'm going to reflect it through this middle line. So instead of having it here, it is going to be one away from the mirror, then y away from the mirror the other side. So this is going to be here. This point is going to be there. Tick, and you can erase it later. if you'd like to. Then this point is going to be, instead of 1, then 1, the other side is also going to be here. Now I'm done with this vertex 2. This vertex now is going to be instead of, if you would like to connect first, feel free to do that. If you feel like you're going to get lost, look at that. But I'm going to choose a little bit, a different color, just not to confuse you. How can I change the color? Here you go. So you can connect to this one. Now, you got to reflect the other vertices. The other vertices here, this one, it is 1 away from the mirror, then it's going to be here. And this, so it is going to be here. I'm going to connect it now with this. And then you're going to find that this is too far away from the middle line, this vertex here. I'm going to make it also too far away from the middle line over here and connect it. After that, this is 1 far away, then 1 square far away the other side. So you go up. Then this is 2 far away, then 2 far away, then you come over here. With the ruler, things will look much better because mine is a little bit tilted. Okay, now I drew a reflection of this shape through middle line x equals 3. But they told you then reflect shape B. I'm going to label this shape B. Reflect shape B. In the line y equals -2. Now I need to draw y equals -2. Here you go. And label it C. So this point, 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3. Here you go. This point is done. Then you've got over here 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to find 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be this one. You can connect it after that, or you can connect it right away. It's up to you. 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, 4. It is here. You got this one, the one at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Then 1, 2, 3. And the last vertex, which is over here, is going to become here. So now, connecting them with your ruler, it is going to look this way. In question B, they are requesting from you to describe what happened from shape A until it became as a single transformation until it became C. So what happened from A for it to be C? Well, you're going to find that the shape actually got flipped or got rotated. So you need to write rotation. This is the first thing. Okay, I will not be able to move the shape or the page actually. All right, so let me write it at the top over here. So you're going to write rotation. It's written? No, it's not written. Rotation, if it's flipped like upside down, then it is definitely 180 degrees. So it is rotation 180 degrees. And now, or actually, if you did not recognize that it's 180 degrees, you can get your tracing paper, trace the shape, and if you flip the paper or you rotate the paper, not flip it, if you rotate the paper 90 degrees, you're gonna find that nope, you're not gonna get the same shape. 90 degrees more, which is 180 degrees, you're gonna find that you're gonna get the same shape. So it is rotation 180 degrees. Using the tracing paper or recognizing it through imagination is also going to help you find that it is rotation 180 degrees. All right, let's continue. So here, how can I know the center of rotation. With the 180 degrees, there is a very easy method. What is it? Find the two matching vertices or two corresponding vertices, like this one has become this one here, right? This one has become here, this one. Now, find how did it move, kind of like the translation. So it moved 1, 2, 3, 4 left, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. You wanted the center of rotation? Get back to this point and do the half, the midway. All right, so the midpoint of that. So it is 2 left, 3 down. 1, 2, left, 3 down. 1, 2, 3. This is the point, the center of rotation. 3, -2. Center, 3, -2. A formula used in physics, let me zoom in, is v squared equals u squared plus 2as. Find the two possible values of v when u is equal to 2.1. So v squared equals 2.1 squared plus 2 multiplied by a, which is -9.8, and then multiplied by s, which is -5.4. So v squared equals, and get your calculator, do that, 2.1 squared plus 2, but it's multiplied by -9.8 and multiplied by -5.4. All of this is going to be equal to 110.25. 110.25. But Mr., what is V equal to? V is the square root of that. Okay, Mr., but they said V is what or what? We know that the square root of any value is positive or negative the answer. So let's do this. Square root of 110.25 equals 10.5 positive and negative. Rearrange this formula to make A the subject. Let me first write the formula. But I'm going to switch actually to make A on the left side. Many people feel comfortable doing this. So y squared plus 2as equals v squared. Now let's make A the subject of the formula. What is the last thing that happened to A? You must send it there first. So you're going to find out that A got multiplied by 2 and got multiplied by s. And at the end, we added the u squared. So send the add u squared to the other side. So 2as equals v squared minus u squared. But now I need to get rid of what? Of the 2s, because I want only a, which are multiplied to a. So send in their division. A equals v squared minus u squared over 2s. This is the answer. Next question over here. They want from you the parameter of this trapezium. They wanted the parameter of the whole field, which is the trapezium. Well, parameter, we know that it's adding the length of all the sides up, the outline of the shape. So the outline of the whole shape. Okay, good. Let's do this, mister. I know now I have two sides of the outline of the shape. I have 42 plus I have 24 plus I need CB and I need CD. We don't have them. So here are two problems that we need to solve. CB, if you noticed, you got over here a what? A right-angled triangle. You see that? They even helped you imagine it by drawing this line. So I got a right-angled triangle over here. So what are we supposed to do? you're supposed to use the Pythagoras to find BC, which is one of the two legs, one of the two sides. It is not the hypotenuse. So you're going to do what? A squared equals a C squared minus B squared. A equals the root of C squared minus B squared. What is C squared? It is 26 squared minus, what is B squared? 24 squared. Use your calculator and you will find what A is equal to, which is, A here is the CB. So let's do that. Square root of 26 squared minus 24 squared equals 10 exactly. So it is going to be plus 10 plus. Now, mister, here is a bigger problem. CD, how can I find it? Well, look at that. We found that CB is 10, right? You should here draw an imaginary line that is parallel to AB. It doesn't have to be accurate because you're the one who's going to imagine it actually. And it is perpendicular with this one. It is right angled, triangle right now, right? So I made it kind of like a rectangle and a triangle. Knowing that this is parallel to that, it's equal, which is 24 meters. This is 24. Okay, mister, but I do not know only this. I know that all of that is 42. Yeah, but now we know that this is 10. So what is the rest? Okay, this is now 32 meters. How did you know? Again, I know that all of this is 42, but only this is 10. So what are the rest? 32. Oh, mister, it does not look like this side is triple that side. Yeah, that's why they said to you not to scale. It doesn't have to look the same, or they don't have to look actually accurate. So this is 32 meters. Can you find now the hypotenuse? Yes, I can find. We said here this then. All right, yes, I can find it. Let's do it. We need to find the hypotenuse, is the side that is opposite to the right angle. So you say what? C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So it is C equals the square root of 32 squared plus 24 squared. On the calculator, 32 squared plus 24 squared equals 40. So plus 40. Now you can get the parameter. 42 plus 24 plus 10. So 42 plus 24 is going to give you exactly 66. 66 plus 10 and 40, which is 50, is going to give you exactly 116 meters. 116 meters exactly. So you go down there and you write 116. Definitely had all this space to work it out, but I didn't want to zoom out, so I used the space at the top. Now with the last question, question 18. In this pyramid, each expression is equal to the sum of the two expressions immediately below it. What does this mean? It means that this, for example, here is equal to this plus this one. Mister, can I expand this so that I don't get confused? It's totally up to you. And I actually agree with you. X squared minus 5x. This is now I expanded it. And here is x squared minus 7x. And this one is 3x plus 6. If you add these two together, they will give you this one. So adding these two together will give you this one. Yes, Mr. X squared minus 5x minus 2x is going to give you x squared minus 7x. Good. This is how it works. So what can I find right now? If you look closely, you're going to find that if you add, you can use this because it tells you something plus 3x plus 6 gives you 5x plus 6. Oh, mister, this is 2x. You should notice it very fast, to be honest with you. You should notice that 2x, the 5x here requires 3x and the 2x, right? These are the two numbers that if you add them up, the two terms that you add up, they will give you 5x, the one that is at the top. And the 6 doesn't need anything. It's just a 6. So leave the 6 as it is. We're not going to write 2x plus anything. It's just only 2x. You add it to 3x plus 6, we'll give you this. Good. Now, mister, what else can I do? Look at that. Negative 2x plus what will give you 2x? Okay, negative 2x plus 4x. You add them up, they will give you 2x. Excellent. Now, for x plus what will give you 3x plus 6? Oh, mister, definitely I need a 6 because I don't have here a term that is a constant. I need a 6. All right, the 4x plus what will go down to 3x? Oh, will go down. It is negative 1x. So now 4x plus negative x, which is 4x minus x, will take you to the 3x. And definitely the positive 6 is there. Now, to get this one, what do? Add these two together. They will give you this one. So x squared, we expanded this already. X squared minus 7x plus 2x, Mr. X squared will remain the same. Negative 7x plus 2x is negative 5x. The last rectangle. X squared plus, mister, there is nothing over there with the x squared, so I'm going to write it as it is. Negative 5x plus 5x by, and positive 6 remains there. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you in another video.